Who got the swag? Forward a man. Man, my Donna John go to check.
What is good, y'all? This is JV here, back with another song recommendations video for you guys. It feels like a while since I've been able to do this. Always really enjoyed. These are one of my favorite videos to make, just because I love, talking music, giving you guys some projects that you might not know about, that you guys should know about, but again, also maybe some mainstream releases that you just want my quick opinion on. Shoot it to you, let you guys know, and also in the comment section below, y'all always tell me that you really like these videos, so I'm glad. So, 4 projects today and 2 tracks, medium-sized episode. These are projects I actually feel relatively strongly about, so I'm really excited to recommend these to you guys. So let's just get started. First project, Soma with Soma Blue. Now you guys are probably not familiar with this artist. She is kind of like an alternative R&B artist from Korea. Really enjoy her music. She actually appeared as a model in an OD music video that I did a reaction to, if I'm not mistaken. It was either OD or Wutan, but I think it was OD. In one of his singles, and you guys linked me down below. I was like, who is that, man? She's gorgeous. Who is she? Y'all linked me, followed her on Instagram, found out that she made music, and then she dropped this album recently, and the album is fantastic, man. Again, it's kind of like experimental and alternative in nature, so if you're expecting more contemporary R&B stuff, this is not what you're getting. This is something different. Her vocal techniques are very unconventional. She comes off with the English speak, man, but she does a fantastic job. There's great production on that, and I believe she does some, if not all, of her own production, if I'm not mistaken, because I've seen that she's done some beat-oriented stuff. I don't know, maybe she just did the vocals. But loved this project. Definitely something that I've revisited a number of times. It is on Apple Music, so if you have iTunes or Apple Music, it's up there. You can go check it out and stream it. Fantastic. Definitely recommend you guys check that out if you're into something a little bit more different. Then here's something a little bit more mainstream for you guys. Live with Coming to You Live. Now I've done like 4 reactions to him recently, so y'all by now should be fairly familiar with who he is. He's kind of popped off in the mainstream, gotten a lot of looks lately. Been on him for about maybe a year and a half or so. Big fan of dude. And I like this project because it reminds me kind of Dean's last project, the 130 Mood Trouble album, if y'all remember that. In the way, not that they sound similar, but in the way that he kind of came out of the gate and ended up with so many singles, and the entire project itself is kind of loved by everybody. So I can appreciate that. And what I like about Live is he's got that underground experimental sensibility, but with that same pop mainstream appeal. So he's definitely one of the more interesting artists in the mainstream right now that I can really get down with. There's no kind of like basic trap music on here. You're getting stuff with melody, with great vocal delivery, with interesting writing and nice production, but at the same time really easily listening. But if you really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty and break down the lyrics, there's something for you there too. So big fan of Live. Gonna keep supporting him as much as I can. Shout out to DPR, man. Appreciate all they're doing. So next project is Hashwan with Shangri. I feel like this went under a lot of people's radar. Now I feel like Hashwan is kind of like an acquired taste for some people. He has a very unconventional delivery in his raps, which can come off a little bit abrasive at times. I liken his voice probably to something, not rhyming wise, but vocally, something similar to like an Eazy-E, or maybe like a Kodak Black. Again, not in terms of his bars, but in terms of his vocal delivery. It's nasally. It can come off a little abrasive, but once you get past that, I think there's a really dope project there. Some great singles off this as well. So again, go check that out if you're interested in someone who's in the mainstream trap scene, but also doing some really interesting stuff in terms of like with the features and the production style. The last project is Mad Clown's new project, Love Is a Dog from Hell. Now, I don't have a multitude of thoughts to talk about this. If you've listened to Mad Clown before, this is basically more of the same. He's, for me, like the king of like these rap ballad duo tracks. He's really good at that. He's been doing it for a number of years now. I got turned on to him probably in 2013 with that Stupid in Love single, and since then he's kept a relatively similar format in terms of all his tracks. Very impassioned delivery on his end. He does experiment on one track which kind of flips it up a little bit, and he has like some vocal modulation, some like autotune. Not a big fan of that particular track, but overall I think it's an interesting, engaging delivery. And Mad Clown, in my opinion, is one of the most talented flow-wise MCs in the Korean game right now, considering that his delivery is just so articulate and so like thought of and contrived. Like, it just came out really dope. You could tell he definitely has a knack for the craft for sure. And great songwriting overall, and great choice in features. That's one thing I can always give him props for, is he has the best vocal features on his music. And it's weird because he's a very like soft-spoken guy. I've seen him on like variety shows and stuff like that. But in his music, he can go everywhere from something that you think is like of the tone of like a Crucial Star, all the way to something that's way more aggressive, and you're like, holy shit, like this dude can really spit. So go check out the new Mad Clown single, or track actually. BewhY and Big K.R.I.T made the new song Uno. I did a video about this collab, and it's out now finally. I hope you guys can go check it out, and it's a fantastic single. I couldn't have been more excited and happy about how it turned out. I was scared that the dynamic between them will feel kind of like awkward. It wouldn't fit too well together. BewhY has shown himself though. And again, I'm a bigger fan of Big K.R.I.T than I am of BewhY, but I always give my props to BewhY in the fact that like not every Korean artist can just jump on a track with an American artist and really, for it to work, it can come off as a little disjointed as time. Kind of like you take like the Ichima remix, where there's just like zero chemistry between what Keith Ape is doing on the track and then like what like an ASAP Ferg or a Waka Flocka is doing. But like whether it was his collab with Talib Kweli or his collab with Big K.R.I.T, man, like they really worked on this together, and I liked that there was a little back and forth in terms of bringing each other up, so you can tell that they worked on this track together. My also fear was that it would be like a BewhY track, but maybe Big K.R.I.T would just send his verse in, and it'd be some general talk, you know, him just talking that talk. Big fan of Big K.R.I.T, of course, but that was my fear of mine. But you hear, you know, BewhY bigging up Big K.R.I.T, and we know he's a big fan of Big K.R.I.T, and then also Big K.R.I.T, you know, shouting out Korea, shouting out BewhY, and you can tell that there's a genuine like respect there as MCs, and that was just fantastic to hear. Trap banger, great hook on this one, super memorable, and both of their verses were actually really dope. So shout out to them. Go check out that single again. It's BewhY, Big K.R.I.T with the song Uno. And then lastly, we have the new Penomeco track, WTF, or Went Too Far. I've seen this get a lot of mainstream looks, which is dope. Again, I've spoken on Penomeco, especially on my Code Kunst review that I just filmed. Should be up by the time I get this out, but if not, within the day or so. And Penomeco has definitely been making some moves this past year or so. Big fan of him and super proud of him. He's made great strides. Always very versatile in terms of the kind of instrumentals that he, you know, spits on. And this is just a really dope single. Got a great music video to accompany it, and I see that music video is doing quite well on YouTube. So shout out to him. I'm glad to see this really pop off for him. And I feel like if I had to compile a list of like 10 dudes who I feel like are gonna make some big moves in the genre within the next year or so, he's definitely going to be on it, along with a guy like Live. So that's it for this week. Again, I'm going to run through all the stuff that I think you guys should check out. First is Soma with Soma Blue, live coming to you live. Sorry. Hashwan with Shangri, Mad Clown, Love Is a Dog from Hell, BewhY and Big K.R.I.T with Uno, and then Penomeco with WTF, or Went Too Far. I would like to know, what are you guys listening to? What do you guys have to recommend to me? I pretty much listen to everything, so I'm usually up to date. But hey, if you know anything that I probably don't know about, shoot it down below. I'd love to go check it out with a link to, preferably. It makes it a little easier for me to find it. Till next time, this is JV here. I love you guys. Bye.